Welcome back to MV Explained. Today, just-in-time liquidity, JIT, one of the most elegant and controversial plays in the game, and we'll build it in 3 acts. First, the normal flow, how a passive liquidity provider earns the trading fees. Then the JIT move, where a searcher shows up for a single block and scoops almost the whole fee. And then a defense. And every act we prove it 3 ways on a diagram in a test where you see exactly who earns what, and then live on a public blockchain running a command in the terminal and checking the result on Etherscan. Let's go. First, the ingredients. When you swap on a decentralized exchange, you trade against a pool of tokens supplied by liquidity providers LPs. Every swap pays a small fee, say 0.3%, and that fee is real money, a token like USDC or WETH, split among the LPs in proportion to how much liquidity each provides. Now the key upgrade, Uniswap version 3, added concentrated liquidity. You can pack your liquidity into a narrow price band right around the current price, which gives you a huge share of the active liquidity for surprisingly little capital. Wonderful for real market makers, and as we'll see, the perfect lever for a JIT searcher. Let's start with the honest normal flow. We build it in Foundry, a minimal model of a concentrated liquidity pool. Here's the skeleton. It tracks each provider's liquidity and the total, and a running fee accumulator. The standard way these pools remember how much fee each unit of liquidity has earned: there's add and remove liquidity, a swap, and a collect. Let's fill in the heart of it, the swap. Here is the swap, and this is where the fee gets shared. A trade comes in, we take a 0.3% fee, and then the key line, we add that fee into a global accumulator divided by the total liquidity in the pool. In plain words, we record how much fee each unit of liquidity just earned. When you later collect, your payout is your liquidity times how much that accumulator grew. So whoever holds the most liquidity at the instant of the swap earns the most fee. There's no notion of how long you've provided it, only how much you hold right now. Remember that it's the exact lever JIT pulls. Act 1. The normal flow on the diagram. A passive liquidity provider deposits into the pool and simply waits. A trader comes along and swaps, paying a fee. Let's call it 300, and remember, that's real money. Since the passive LP is the only one providing liquidity, it earns the whole fee, all 300, fair pay for providing the pool and taking on the risk. The formula on screen says it. Your fee is your share of the liquidity times the swap fee. 1 LP, 100% of the liquidity, the whole fee. That's how liquidity providers are supposed to earn. Let's prove it. Here is the normal flow test. A passive LP provides liquidity, a trader swaps, paying the fee, and the passive LP collects. We print exactly what it earns. Watch. Run it. The passive LP provides its liquidity. A trader swaps, paying a fee of 300. And the passive LP collects exactly 300, the whole fee. It provided the liquidity, it earned the fee. Simple and fair. Now let's watch it on a real chain. We deployed this pool to Sepolia, a public testnet, through my chainstack node. The passive LP adds its liquidity first, and here's where I want you to look. Not at the status or the ID, but at the tokens that actually move. Etherscan lists every transfer inside the transaction. Here there are 2, 100,000 of token 0 and 100,000 of token 1, both moving from the passive LP into the pool. That's what providing liquidity really is. Real tokens going into the pool, and the passive LP leaves them there. Then trader swaps against the pool and again follow the tokens. 2 transfers, the trader sends 100,000 of token 1 in and takes about 49,000 of token 0 out, and the fee, the 0.3%, about 300 of token 1, stays behind in the pool owed to whoever is providing the liquidity. And back in the terminal, we read the payoff of the chain. I ask for the passive LP's fee balance, and it's 300, the whole fee, exactly like the test. The passive LP provided the liquidity and earned the fee. That's the normal flow. Now watch a searcher hijack it. Act 2, JIT liquidity on the diagram, and everything here happens inside a single block in order. A passive LP is already in the pool. The searcher sees a big swap coming. Step 1, just before it, the searcher mints an enormous position, so it suddenly owns about 99% of the pool's liquidity. Step 2, the swap lands and pays its fee. Because fees go by share at the moment of the swap, the searcher, holding 99%, collects almost the entire fee, while the passive LP that's been there the whole time gets about 1%, a rounding error. Step 3, the searcher collects and burns the position, taking its capital straight back out. Its money was in the pool for one block. It provided nothing lasting. It just showed up huge at the right instant and left with the fee. Let's prove it. Here's just the code here's the JIT test. The passive LP is in with its liquidity, then all in one block. The searcher mints a huge position, the trader swaps, the searcher collects and removes. Finally, the passive LP collects, so we can compare. We print what each one earns. Run it. The passive LP is standing with its liquidity, and the fee to share is 300. Then the searcher mints its giant position, becoming about 99% of the pool. The swap goes through, and the split. The JIT searcher collects 297.99% of the fee, while the passive LP in the pool the whole time gets 1%. The searcher created no lasting value. It simply diverted the passive LP's fee into its own pocket for one block of work. Now on-chain, and this is the Deming part, so let's follow the money, step by step, exactly as Etherscan lists it. The searcher's entire move is one atomic transaction, and inside it are 7 token transfers. Step 1, mint. The searcher sends 9.9 million of each token into the pool, so for one instant it owns about 99% of the liquidity. Step 2, the swap lands 100,000 of token 1 in, about 99,000 of token 0 out, and its fee is now owed to whoever holds the liquidity right now. Step 3, and this is the hijack. The pool pays the searcher 297 of token 1, 99% of the whole fee, because at this exact instant it holds 99% of the liquidity. Step 4, burn. It pulls all 9.9 million of each token straight back out. In one transaction it was in and out of the pool, exposed for essentially 0 time, and it walked off with the fee. And afterwards, the passive provider who genuinely sat in the pool the whole time collects what's left. Follow the token. The pool sends it just 3 of token 1. Almost nothing, because the searcher already took the other 99%, one block of work, for the fee that should have been the passive LPs. And in the terminal we read the split of the chain. The JIT searcher collected 297, about 99% of the fee. The passive LP who stood there the whole time collected 3, about 1%. It matches the test exactly, and you can open each transaction on Etherscan and follow the fee yourself. The searcher was in for one block and took almost everything. Act 3, the defense. Now JIT isn't a bug, it's a mechanism, so there's no line to patch. But there are real defenses. On the diagram, the demonstrable one, reward fees by time in the pool. Instead of your liquidity right now, your fee is set by your liquidity seconds, how much liquidity you held, multiplied by how long you held it. The passive LP has been there a long time, so it holds the vast majority of the liquidity seconds. The JIT searcher, however huge, was in for essentially one block, so its liquidity seconds are almost nothing. It earns almost nothing, and the strategy is dead. And the primary real-world defense on the bottom is private order flow. Route big swaps, so they're hidden from the public mempool, and the searcher simply can't front-run a swap it can't see coming. Let's prove the time-weighted version. Here's the defended test. On the time-weighted pool, the passive LP provides liquidity and actually stays. We advance time by a day. Then the searcher tries the exact same one-block move. Mint, swap, collect, remove. We print what each earns. Run it. The passive LP provides liquidity and stays in the pool for a day real time. Then the searcher mints its position and runs the identical move. But now its time in the pool is 0, so its liquidity seconds are 0. The JIT searcher collects 0, nothing at all, and the passive LP keeps the whole fee 300, same searcher, same move. And time waiting shuts it down completely. Let's confirm on a real chain. On Sepolia, we deployed the time-weighted pool, let the passive LP actually sit in it, and then the searcher ran the exact same atomic bundle, the same 7 transfers, follow them again. It mints 9.9 million of each token, the swap lands, then the collect, and here's the whole difference. Look at the amount that moves, 0. The pool pays the searcher 0 of token 1 because its liquidity existed for 0 seconds, 0 liquidity seconds, 0 fee. Then it burns the position back out. Same searcher, same move, and this time it walks away with nothing. And in the terminal, the result read straight off the chain. The JIT searcher's fee is 0, not a sliver, not a rounding error. 0 because its position existed for 0 seconds, so it earned 0 liquidity seconds and 0 fee. And the passive provider, who really stood in the pool, keeps the whole 300. Same searcher, same move, and time waiting shuts it down completely. Reward liquidity that's genuinely provided over time, or hide the swap with private order flow, and the JIT play simply stops paying. Quick recap. Swap fees are real money, split among LPs by who holds liquidity at the instant of the swap. Normally, a passive provider earns the fee for really providing the pool. JIT weaponizes the timing. A searcher mints a huge position 1 block before a big swap, collects almost the entire fee, and burns it, exposed for a single block. The defenses are to reward liquidity for the time it's actually provided, so a 1 block position earns nothing, or to route big swaps privately so the searcher can't see them coming. Reward real lasting liquidity, not whoever looks biggest for 1 instant. A quick note, Nashak rebuilding this MEV strategy safely and explaining them line by line takes real work. If it helps you, the wallets are on screen and there's a Ko-fi link below. Every tip funds the next breakdown, thank you. And that's just-in-time liquidity, told in full, how a passive provider earns fees, how a searcher hijacks them for a single block, and how time waiting or private order flow shuts it down, each act shown on a diagram in a test, and live on a public chain. Next episode, another MEV strategy, rebuilt and explained end to end. Subscribe so you don't miss it, tell me in the comments which one to break down next, and I'll see you there.